Prophecy number 1 is actually about Sifuna's rise, which I want to warn Kenya, it may just remain a euphoria. So why is Sifuna's rise? Why might it just remain a euphoria? Because that's the danger. Sifuna is actually one that has tapped into the spirit of Raila Odinga, and he's angled himself. Actually, it has like the mantle has fallen on him. However, if only he knew how to handle spiritual matters, if only he had a good pastor around him, his rise wouldn't have remained a euphoria. However, as we speak now, prophecies I told us about Kenya are being fulfilled. One, I told us that Kalonzo Musyoka won't be president. Some people got offended. Then they defected from listening to me. They went to listen to prophets in the gutters. I say God has prophets in levels. There are persons who purport to be prophets, but they are rumor mongers. Because even in the matter of spiritual realm, there are persons who actually are rumor mongers. They want to hear, what did you get from God? So those ones are no prophets. They are prophets that God humbly gives the word from the throne. And so when I say something, me, I don't share prophecies on the so that I get money. I don't make money out of prophecies. So you find that when I told us about Kalonzo won't be president, some people thought that I'm against Kalonzo. Now, time is telling. Time is telling. Time is telling. Confirmations are actually loaded that Kalonzo will not be president. And I give you reasons as to why. And more so reasons as to why even that he won't be president. Kenya has not had someone go before God and vouch for one to be anointed king, to vouch for a particular candidate to be approved of God. So even as I speak now, there's no one. I remember I said that over the Republic Kenya, the scepter of righteousness, the scepter of presidency is not there. But you hear people are really jostling. Please, what happened on Kalau is different. Don't think that IEBC will be able to conduct proper elections. And that's if they conduct elections at all. So when we speak these prophecies, some people take issues, they take sides, they may actually hate a prophet, and they may sometimes also despise a prophet. If Kalonzo and their group had the fear of God, they'll have sought what to do, so they never did. So similarly, I say that in that entire group, whether Matiang'i, whether Kalonzo, whether Gachagua, whether Maraga, or whether Sifuna, none of them has the scepter released over them. And none of them appears in the radar of presidency. There are prophets who actually read the mood of politics in the land. They read the mood. They read events. Then they want to tell you that one is prophecy. I say, look, that is analysis. Those ones are analysis. Interpretation of events in the physical is not prophecy. Those are just like commentators, but they call themselves prophets. I say no. Those are persons who are given to, looking at the natural. A true prophet of God does not read from the natural. The true prophet of God actually reads spiritually. The word prophetic means being eschatological. You see far. You are futuristic. And you get from God. Although I hate the word prediction. The word prediction is actually underestimating what is prophetics. So when God reveals to his prophet something, then that person whom the Lord has revealed to is in the prophetics. So there are persons that are actually flooding online with the things. And theirs is reading in the physical, plus others are interpreting what I've said, then they rally behind the prophecy. That is not true. But the true prophet first sees things in the spiritual and interprets spiritually, manifesting it in the physical. Or he reads, interprets the spiritual to the benefits of the physical. So about Sifuna, Edwin Sifuna. His star is actually a star of a prince. And the danger is that there are a people that have angled themselves to dim Sifuna's star. Now, Sifuna ought to have had a midwife. Sifuna does not have a spiritual midwife. And what befell Raila Odinga is similarly what is befalling other aspirants in the republic. So you find that he may just remain to be a prince, but ascending into kingship becomes very hard. And also, them that will have become his midwives are actually the wrong people. Those who are actually purporting to be his midwives. And I gave a prophecy about Sifuna getting himself into, kissing false prophets, being anointed by false prophets. They are complicating chances of Sifuna being approved of God. You cannot have witches pray for you. You cannot have sorcerers pray for you. You cannot have reprobates pray for you. You cannot. And so that's how they are dimming his star. Now, to add to that one about Sifuna, is that Sifuna's ascension may end up remaining a euphoria, not culminating into presidency. That's bad news for many. And so, if Sifuna has someone that is spiritual, she'll talk to him. And it should be handled by persons who are spiritually knowledgeable. Spiritually knowledgeable. Then also there are those midwives be a people that have God's reverence and God's approval. And that there be an intercessor, someone that is a friend of God, who can actually vouch and present Sifuna's name and plead with God to drop the scepter. Currently, Kenya does not have the scepter of presidency. So the thing is, Sifuna may remain a euphoria in the republic. And so those who handle Sifuna must think, and Sifuna himself must think. You cannot have presidency minus God's effort, unless it is hijacked, and unless also it is one that will shock God, like in Hosea chapter number 8 and verses number 4. Is it Hosea 8:4? Now, Hosea 8:4, you see also God is surprised about how some people get into presidency. And even today, God is like, how did this Ruto make it to presidency? Meaning that some people steal their way into presidency. Verses number 4, they have set up kings, but not by me. That is God complaining and actually expressing dismay. That people set up kings not by his effort, neither by his approval. They have made princes, and I knew it not. Persons who get into offices of leadership and of power, and it's like God did not approve it. Of their silver and their gold have they made themselves, them idols, that they may be cut off. So people use money, mechanical means. That is not God's doing, but otherwise. Meaning they use other forces or other means to ascend into power. So for Sifuna's case, Sifuna needs God. So this is, otherwise you find that Sifuna will also get himself into this equation where God asks, how did someone become president? And so we see Kenya persons who are jostling for presidency. They are not persons that have sought even God. the Gashaguas, the way they are fighting and the way they are pushing and the way they are jostling and the way they are, politics of hatred and vindictiveness. Please, there's no God there. So Sifuna may remain a euphoria. That means Kenya as a republic, they want to vent their anger or their disapproval against the government. They are tired. So if they find someone they can rally behind, that's euphoric, they'll do so. But the question is this: the person that Kenyans want to rally behind, is he a person that God has actually chosen? So Kenya's church have failed, and Kenya is in judgment, and so there have not been persons that can vouch for anybody to become king, because even me, I'm not ready. Why? When I give prophecies, they despise me. Why should I pray for them? When I give counsel to them, they despise. Why should I be their intercessor? So, kila mtu ajitetee. I mean, as a prophet, I have a choice. I can refuse, I can decide. So, because when I give prophecies online, they despise. So I say, okay, look for other prophets to help you. And you know what? At any dispensation of time, God has one prophet, major. He may have other voices, but he'll always have one major prophet. Someone, hallelujah. Someone, hallelujah. So that is it, someone, hallelujah. So when they despise, who shall pray for them? And also about one Sifuna, he's actually euphoric. People are rallying around him, yes. And many are rallying behind him, yes. But the thing is, has God okayed? Are there priests who have prayed? Are there priests who have actually prayed? So they should be able to pray, and that's if God has. So I say that at any given time, God has chosen prophet. If you despise that prophet and ignore him plus the word God gives to him, you may lack favor to appear before God. So chances of Sifuna making presidency are actually very dim, very slim. Unless something else God tells me between now and that time.